You there?
Yeah, hang on. I think I need to change this setting.
Shit, hold on.
Can you hear me? Test one, two, three.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
See here talking, my headphones aren't even plugged in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I've had a couple beers, dude. I'm good.
Excuse me. Let's see. Let's see if this video is live. We may be live right now. I don't know.
Sure Shot just gave up another home run.
I saw that. Yeah,
Hang it, bang it.
I think we're live right now. Let me get this recording going in Skype real quick. No, I gotta remember how do I record. Start recording. There we go. Now we got this going. Scott, all I see is your bald head, man. What are you doing?
Looking.
That's all right. Hey guys, welcome. It's Sunday, August 25th. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what the weather's like where you're at,
Uh-huh.
but the high temperature today was like 79 in South Carolina.
Oh, that's nice.
Dude, I wore a hoodie last night
Oh
for the first time
man.
since I wore a hoodie last night for the first.
March.
Yeah, easy, easy. I still feel
Uh,
like my mic is not loud. The gain on my mic's not loud enough. Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you fine.
It's,
Yeah, no,
still is Sunday.
the high here today was 100.
Let me make sure I got this right. Hang on. Audio. Mic auxiliary. Let's see if this works. That get any better? Oh yeah, there we go. I figured out why my audio was so low last week. Say something for me. Let me get yours right.
Machado. Machado.
Akuna Machado. All right. So yeah.
Max Muncy.
So yeah, dude. So the weather this today. Last night we went to see my buddy's kid play guitar, and my buddy walks outside the door and goes, "Dude, it's kind of cold." I'm like, "Whatever." I walk out and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm putting jeans on and a hoodie, and I haven't done that since springtime."
Mm,
Tomorrow the high is supposed to be 76.
you're lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Enjoy it.
What's the weather like out there?
Tomorrow's supposed to be 101.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mm. I don't envy
Yeah,
that at all.
we actually dipped down. I think I saw on Tuesday. I think we're yeah 89 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we get right back up to 95, and then we're steady around 90, 91 to 95 for the rest of the week.
Holy smokes. That's yeah. I don't miss that. I don't. We're not going to stay in that for long. It's gonna get back. I think in the mid 80s next week. But I've been very pleasantly happy with the weather since we moved to South Carolina. It does get a little cold in the wintertime, but crap. August 25th, it's 73 degrees right now. It's going to get up to 88 this week, but tomorrow and Tuesday, 76, 77.
Perfect.
It is going to be perfect. So, hey, there's a lot going on in the sports world. What do you got? What do you got for me? What's on your plate?
Oh, what do we have? We got Ezekiel Elliott still, making waves. Just saw that Antonio Brown, his second appeal, has been denied for his helmet.
Oh,
We
really?
could,
So, is he just not going to play?
who knows? I don't know. He's just hoping for it for to wear that helmet for 1 year till he finds one that actually works. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. Um, we also have, of course, the hot topic staying in football, Andrew Luck and his shocking announcement of retirement.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, what else did we have?
What do
Baseball
you,
news. We got
what,
the Players Weekend uniforms,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
and just saw that Dante Bichette's son has 22 extra base hits in 26 games.
Yes, what now?
22 extra base hits in 26 games.
Good grief.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
insane.
sir. So yeah, and we can I can my daughter went to a Ranger game and came home with a ball, so I can elaborate a little bit on how the ball feels in my hand, but
Yeah,
it's
tell
definitely
me about
different.
that.
Well, it's I mean, obviously, going from high school to college to pro ball. In high school, the seams are, they're pretty significant as far as the height that they're raised. College is a little bit less, and then of course when we got to pro ball, it's almost like they're non-existent, right?
Yeah,
So she comes home with a ball, and it's been a few years since I've put a professional baseball in my hand. I mean, I've
yeah,
had a couple from when I played that were left over. Um, but I will say it felt odd. And what I mean by that is, and granted, this is BP, so they're probably not rubbed up with the mud, that sort of thing. They're not the game quality balls, but
right.
they're still major league stamped. And one, they're slippery.
Okay,
It's almost like like the leather that you'd feel on maybe like a high school baseball or even a college one. It's got a little bit of roughness to it,
right.
little porous maybe. This is like smooth, almost like you'd find on like a purse or a
Huh.
wallet. Um, on top of it, the seams are I mean, you can feel them, but they're not very evident. Um, not
Okay.
as at least not as much as they were when we were playing. Um, and it feels hard.
Does it feel the same size?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think the size changed per se, but I mean it just feels like everything inside is extremely tightly wound.
Yeah,
Um, and I mean, at least there was maybe a little bit of a cushion, so to speak, like a little sponginess to the balls that we played
really.
with. But this one is like, I mean,
Oh, I thought you meant it was the one you. I thought you were saying the one you were holding was more cushiony.
no. The ones
Okay.
that we played with were,
Yeah.
maybe just, I mean, you could push a little bit on, on the leather part of the baseball. This one, I mean, it's like a rock.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I can understand how, guys are getting jammed and still getting it out.
Yeah. That's. Uh, I wish somebody would just take the balls, take some old baseballs, take some new ones, and just do a scientific study and just find out. Like, I don't know, get a machine to hit them or test the compression or something. And let's have an answer once and for all. That's what I'd like to see.
Right, right.
I can't believe nobody's done it. I can't believe a YouTuber hadn't done it yet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, somebody. I mean,
But
you get a million hits on that.
right. Um, I know I don't got time for it, but
Yeah, I don't either.
or the financial backing, but yeah, I mean, it would be interesting, and I don't understand how they could, I mean, I get it how they're saying the balls are juiced, but I mean, it's not like you can
Guys,
put
it's back!
things in
Inline
it
skating? No, the
to make
sensation is
it
back at Zaxby's.
go further. I mean,
Right.
if anything, you make it, more tightly wound so that the centrifugal force, if you get enough backspin on it, will carry farther. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You watching this Yankees Dodgers game right now?
I am, and there's a fire in Southern California too.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yes.
But I also saw Aaron Judge go yard, and I thought 10 years ago that wouldn't be a home run. That was my first thought.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it was a hanging curveball, but I mean, it's not like he got fully extended, and it almost looked like he borderline got jammed.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah,
As soon as he hit it and I saw the outfielders running back, I'm like, it's gone, but it shouldn't be. But that's the game we got today. I mean, home runs put butts in seats. We know that.
yeah.
Nobody wants to go watch a 1-0 game. They just
Well,
don't.
no, I mean it's 2-1 right now, and all three runs in the game have been home runs.
That's stupid. I don't know. I'm enjoying watching the game, but I'm still like, I was talking to Jeff Keppinger, and he was like, when I played, my job was whatever the manager told me: move the run over, hit the ball short, bunt, try to get a walk, steal a base, whatever the situation. He said most managers were like that. He said some managers let him free swing, but some of them were like, hey, we got a man on second with less than 2 outs, you're bunting, and they played small ball. And he's like, man, today it's just not, everybody's just swing away. 1-0 count, 2-0 count, 3-0 count, 1-1, 2-1, you name it, 0-2, swing for the fences. I mean, Gary Sanchez, batting 235, 29 bombs, 67 RBIs right now.
Right.
10 years ago, I mean, he is an all-star. He's an amazing player. 10 years ago, those are unheard of numbers coming out of a catcher. Those are Mike Piazza numbers,
Right.
you know, and nobody but Mike Piazza did that during that time frame. So I don't know. I'm about over talking about it. Football season's here, man.
Yes, sir. That
Dude,
it
I
is.
just watched
That
this.
it is.
I just watched the slow-mo replay of Judge's home run
Mm-hmm.
where he made contact was even with his back hip
Yeah.
in that swing. That's craziness.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, football season's here, man. Crazy stuff going on. I'm not a huge NFL guy. I do pay attention a little bit because I like watching some of my favorite college guys when they get there. But Andrew Luck, everybody finds out he's retiring on the sideline of his preseason game. People are checking their phones and finding this out and freaking out, dude. Did you see the videos?
No, I did. I haven't seen the video yet. I just heard that they started booing him during the game.
Well, it started with everybody sitting on the sideline, and you just start seeing people looking at their phones like, are you serious? Then some people start taking their Andrew Luck jerseys off. Dude, it was nuts. I mean, I get it, dude. That's a hard game. And if your body doesn't, if it hurts, that's not a fun game to play.
Right, and from what I understand is that part of part of his decision was he wasn't living the life that he wants to.
Right.
And then on top of it, just the mental grind of it, which I'm guessing would also include the extensive physical rehab that he's had to do.
Yeah.
With his what has it been? His knee, his shoulder. I mean, it's been so many
Yeah.
things that he's had to rehab from, and then mentally get ramped up to start playing again, and then he gets hurt, and I mean his cycle of probably being mentally and emotionally up and down. I mean, you get hurt like that, and I mean, it affects you more than just physically. I mean, mentally, it hurts. I mean, you start questioning yourself, you start doubting things, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm good to go now. And then you start playing, you're playing well, you're an all pro, and then all of a sudden your shoulder gives out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Dude, I had my best friend when I was playing pro ball. He didn't get released. He was on his second or third Tommy John, and he was like, dude, it's miserable. And he was in the big leagues at the time. He's like, dude, I'm just miserable. I'm sick of going every day to the training room and going through therapy over and over and over and over. And I don't think they ever released him. I think he walked away. Um, I I never had a major injury, so I don't really know how I would deal with it. But I can imagine, well, having been a guy that played for a team that they very rarely ever played me, it's got to be that plus a whole lot worse, is all I can
Right.
imagine. You
Right.
know,
Yeah. And then added in, the pressures of when I come back from my rehab, am I going to be the same guy? Am I going to be, the guy that this team needs? That's a lot of pressure to put on your franchise quarterback.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, so that's just, I understand where he's coming from. He's got a Stanford degree. I don't know what it's in, but he's obviously made a ton of money. And in reality, in the big scheme of things, life after this game, whether it's now or it's 5, 10 years down the road, is way more important than the game.
Yeah, and nobody knows your body like you know your body. You know, I mean, if his body's telling him it's done, it's time to go, it's over, we got to go, we got to call this off. I mean, that's what you do.
Right.
You know, and you don't know the conversation he's having with his wife, with his kids.
Right.
I think it's really sad people booed him. I really do.
It, yeah. And I don't know if you saw my post or not, but my whole thing's with fans when they get to this point. What in your life, what does it actually affect?
Nothing. Oh,
You,
they're
you,
fantasy football teams.
right? But you,
Yeah,
you you know you know what I mean though. Like if you're a season ticket holder,
right.
how does it affect you? You still have those season tickets. You're paying that. That team,
Right.
if they win the Super Bowl, you're not getting a ring. You're not getting a free T-shirt. You have to buy all those things. So you're still spending money
Yeah.
for this team and this guy that you just booed.
It's silly. You know, you think about fan, the word fan means fanatic. And if you look
Correct.
up the definition of that, it's kind of silly to be a fan of anything. I mean,
Right.
you have an unwavering support for something you have no relation to. And I'm showing something. I'm showing a group on Facebook I'm not supposed to show. It's our secret group. I showed it in the. Um,
Well, those are mainly all of our listeners anyway. So
yeah, I know. I got to go back here and I was gonna put this link in the main group. So just talk while I do this real quick. Bring up some.
so going back to that Judge home run, he after BP today, he met a fan, as we're talking about fans. He's an older gentleman, and um, I believe that the fan asked him to hit a home run for him or something along those lines, and he said that he would,
Right.
and then he ended up doing it in that third inning. So that's just, when you kind of call your shots in this game, that's pretty significant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you mentioned I'm switching gears because I was typing something. You mentioned these players' weekend uniforms. What do you think?
I think they're terrible.
They're pretty bad.
They are. And yeah, watching the Dodgers, they wear white all the time. They don't ever wear blue top, anything like that. Yankees are standard as well, where it's always gray, pinstripe. So these two teams don't change a whole lot, but my problem that I'm not a fan with, one, I don't like the black jersey, black pants. I think it's
I agree.
softball.
I agree.
Um, Second, the white lettering and numbers on the white jersey with a gray outline, you can't see a thing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. Can't see the names, can't see the team names. I don't understand it. I don't get
Right.
it.
So the all home teams are wearing all white, all road teams are wearing all black. The pitchers on the home teams have to wear a black hat
Yeah. And
because because the ball, could possibly blend into their hat, and of course it's all about offense and hitting.
right. Yeah. I think the whole thing's silly. You know, the one thing I do think I like, and I don't really understand, is it a rule now? I don't understand why they can't do it now. I like the bats, the people being able to customize their bats.
Right.
I think that's kind of cool. Is it a
It is cool.
rule? Is it a rule that they can't do it now?
Probably.
Like, what's
And
the rule? It must be a solid color.
I don't
If
know because
anybody
they
knows
have
the answer to
they
that, I would love to hear.
yeah, it's probably Steve Kent. But I mean they have where there's like a natural grain on the top and then a black handle,
Right.
as far as that goes. But yeah, I mean the first time I saw it on Friday night, I thought Aaron Judge had a metal bat in his hand.
I know it looked just like it,
I was
didn't it?
like, oh boy, I'm like he's gonna hit that to Nevada. Like good
Yeah,
grief.
you thought Players Week. You thought, oh hey, look, it's Players Weekend.
I'll just use aluminum,
They're letting them pick whatever bat they want. They're using aluminum.
right?
That's funny. Uh,
And I wouldn't honestly like what I think would be cool, and it's the unis that I absolutely love. Like when Bryce Harper hit that walk-off grand slam the other night, and the Phillies were wearing their light blue uniforms.
yeah, I like
Why
that.
not? Why not wear something like those? Like those are like they're so ugly, they're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If it's Players Weekend, why not let the players vote on a uniform to wear?
But I think they did. I think they voted on these.
Shut up. No, I'm saying
Yeah.
each individual team should get to
Right.
vote on, like, the Phillies should have been able to vote on the blue unis. The the Reds could have gone old school. The
Or sleeveless with no sleeves.
yeah, or shorts. Crap, half of them are wearing shorts now.
Right.
Have you seen that? Rolling their pants up above their knee.
Yeah. Hunter Pence has been doing it for quite a while.
I know, but Hunter Pence has been not normal for quite a while.
That's true.
He's a different cat, man. He's a different dude. You know, he's
Yes.
but now there's other guys doing it. I mean,
You got Willie Calhoun, Odor. Mainly, it's a lot of the Rangers, but there's a few on other teams here and there. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Then you touched on Zeke, man. Going back to football, Ezekiel Elliott.
yeah,
You ever?
so going with that, I mean, this is kind of a two-part segment, I guess. But in their preseason game last week, one of the reporters asked Jerry Jones about his contract and where they were with it. And Jerry Jones, his reply was Zeke who?
I know. I saw that.
And then all of a sudden now Zeke's agent sitting there saying that he's offended that he made that joke and blah, 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 and this and that. But if you're looking at it non-partial, for everything that Zeke has done,
Yeah,
who has stood by his side more than anybody else
Jerry Jones.
on this planet? Exactly. So, and
Yeah.
Jerry Jones came out and said, I've earned the right to joke around with him. And I agree with that 100%.
And you would think Zeke would know. I mean, like, he's not trying to be rude. Well,
12 days
maybe
in.
he is, but he's not. He's not. He's his franchise running back.
Right.
You're not throwing him under the bus. You've got him for 2 more years. Whether he sits out or not, he's under contract.
Exactly.
So, obviously Jerry is motivated to get him on the field. So I find it silly that Ezekiel Elliott would be offended at that.
Yeah, I agree. And then they turned around and offered him a deal. I didn't see the numbers, but it was going to make him the second highest paid running back in the league behind Todd Gurley.
It was going to be, let's see. Who's this? I'm trying to read it. Smith, one of the most inspiring comeback stories in the NFL. All right, so the third highest running back contract is 6 years, 68.4 million, and that is to. I wish they'd write these things better when I'm trying to read them.
Right.
I don't know. So it's over that. It'd be the second highest behind. Who is it? Is Gurley the highest paid running back?
It's either Gurley or Melvin Gordon, one of the two.
Either way, do you ever sit back and think, how much money do you need?
Well, I mean that's going back to what we talked about last week with Dak. How much money do you need? I mean, I get the respect. That you want to be the highest paid in your profession in your particular position. Like, I understand that aspect,
Yeah.
but in reality, and I guess certain people see it differently, and you and I think are vastly different from these guys. But I would rather, if I'm in their shoes, I would rather get what I feel that my owner thinks I'm worth, as long as it's respectable,
Yeah.
right? So if he thinks, hey, you know what, you're worth $15 million a year, and here's a reason why, because you're good,
Right.
and I'm looking at it from Dak's standpoint, okay? You're good and you're successful because of the five guys that we have in front of you blocking for you.
Yeah, because you
You're
can't play
good.
without him.
Right. You're good because of the running back you have behind you, because when his game is going, it enhances yours through play action.
Yeah. Yep.
If we eliminate all that, we don't have the money to pay Zeke, and we don't have the money to pay Frederick and Collins and all these guys up front.
Yeah.
You're not going to be worth $40 million anymore. So my return on investment is going to diminish the more I put into you.
He's set to make 9,100,000 next year. I mean, could you live off that?
I could live comfortably off $100,000.
I don't know. As a former professional athlete myself, and you as your, being you, I don't know. I can't say I've been in their position because I haven't never been offered $10 million, $100 million.
Correct.
But I would like to think that in that position, I would say, give me what you can give me, and then surround me with winners, and let's win a championship.
Right.
Because there's 800,000 ways for them to make more money.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's a pride thing. I don't know if it's they've actually gone out and overextended themselves and they really need. I don't know.
It could be a little bit of both,
Yeah.
but
Do you play fantasy football?
I do.
Or have you had your draft already?
No, I'm going to do it this week at some point.
So do you even know the draft order yet, or
No, I haven't even gotten into one yet.
I haven't looked into it yet? I'm not playing this year. I don't think. I got too much going on. I don't even know who I would take. If I played, I would definitely want to be in a PPR league. I don't like playing the ones that don't have PPR. It's just boring. Not enough points. You get that guy that makes 14 catches for 39 yards, and he only gets 3.9 points. And he's the essential part of the game. He got like nine first downs, but you don't get any points. All right, you got any? You haven't done any research whatsoever yet?
No, I'm just going off of kind of, I guess, what I know from last year and the possibility of, going forward. But
do you play in a free league, or do you all put in a?
now free.
Yeah, that's what I always did. That I played in one paid league, but it's like a second job. You got to research all the time. I don't know, but hey, man, college football opened yesterday. Did you watch the Miami Florida game last night?
I did.
What was your take on it?
Felipe Franks is vastly overrated.
Well, he was benched his first year, wasn't he?
I believe so. But watching, because I was watching College Game Day, and of course Herb Street's hyping him up, so is Corso, and this and that, but just watching, I expected a lot more coming from since Herb Street talked him up so much.
Yeah.
He's average at best.
Dude, there are better quarterbacks that transferred to other schools this year than him.
Yes.
Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, a whole bunch of others. I just don't see that working over there. I don't know who their backup is. I don't know what they're going to do. But
Well, and just
they get into a real deal SEC schedule this year, and I think it's going to get ugly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he made he threw that interception at the end, towards the end and everything, and then when he scored his touchdown, and he strutted his stuff and
Guys, it's back.
was
Inline
running his
skate.
mouth
Yeah,
like he's a Heisman hopeful. Like, no, like, know your role and go thank your linemen, go thank your wide receivers, go thank your team, because they're the ones that put you in that position to score.
the only on the flip side, the one thing that I found interesting was Miami's freshman quarterback held his own. He didn't look great, but Tate Martell went there fully thinking he's going to be the starting quarterback.
Right.
And they went ahead and named this rookie or this freshman the starter. What are you thinking if you're Tate Martell today? I mean, you're probably thinking you should have started that game, but
Wait my time.
yeah, well, what?
Because he looked okay, but he did look like it was a little bit fast.
Well, like the game was fast for him.
Yeah, which it is. I mean, all those guys on that field are just ridiculously fast. I mean, it moves at such an incredible pace.
The jump from high school to there is crazy.
Oh, ridiculous. But yeah, I think he was a little bit overwhelmed. Jaron Williams is his name.
Okay.
He's actually he's a sophomore, but eligibility wise freshman.
Gotcha.
But it's just so quick. I mean, your reads have to be lightning fast, and they have to be right.
And to be fair, Florida's defense is actually pretty good. Their defensive line is very good.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he got a cupcake game and struggled.
No.
I think Florida's a big downfall is offense. It's not going to be their defense.
Correct.
This coming next week, I'm trying to think what the schedule is. I'm a big Georgia fan, so I cannot wait until this next week. And I could have told you who they're playing if I didn't try to think of it right now. But let's see. Let's go to SEC. But they didn't pick a cupcake either. I think they're playing Vanderbilt. Let's see. No.
I tell you, the one guy that stood out for me in that game, in the Florida Miami game, is the cornerback from Miami. His name is Trajan Bandy.
Okay.
Number 2. He's a junior, man. He made some plays, and they were not highlight reel, but they were consistent. He came up in the run. He jumped a couple routes.
Yeah.
And defended some passes, and I mean, he just had darn good coverage pretty much all night. But yeah, if I watch a Miami game, I mean, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to kind of look at, and knowing that my Packers are always hurting in corner. If I'm one of their scouts, I'm telling them to look at this dude.
I hear you. I missed the end of the game. I told you that, right?
Yeah, because you left. You had to go to that concert.
Yeah, I went to. It was a kind of a last minute decision. I was looking forward to watching football, but my buddy who plays with a band called Jackal, his son joined a band. The name of the band he joined is 7 Year Witch, and when I heard they were playing, I was like, local band. I don't really need to go. Then I looked up their music. It was amazing. And so I talked a buddy into going. We went. We had the best time. Took my kids, or I took Cade, and he took his son. So we didn't get back till about midnight, and I missed the end of the game. I actually fully expected to get home and see that Miami had won that game. They got stopped on the 1 yard line, right?
No, they got down the field. I want to say they're at about their 20. Florida's 25, 30, somewhere in there, but they got there through a couple of pass interferences.
Oh, okay.
And it was There's a couple of plays where I mean, it was, just right out of the reach of the receiver, a misthrown ball. So it's fourth down and, I don't know, 15, 12, something like that.
Yeah.
And Williams, is it Williams the quarterback, I believe, right? Is that what we were saying?
Yeah, that's what you said.
He was in shotgun, and the snap came, and it just like he must have taken his eye off it because it went right through his hands. And then he tried to pick it up, and by that time, a couple of Florida guys were all over him. So he picked it up, tried to throw it, and
Yeah.
went incomplete, and they were going to call intentional grounding anyway. So
Yeah,
that's how it ended.
Williams ended up 19 for 30 for 214 yards, 1 touchdown. Felipe Franks was 17 for 27, 254, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
17 I'm sorry, 17 for 27.
Yeah, Franks was, yeah. So his completion percentage wasn't that bad. But he did throw it twice to the other team, and that's not good. You don't do that.
No, right.
His QBR, listen, this was a poorly played college football game. Take a guess on his QBR for the game, Felipe Franks.
His QBR?
Yeah.
I'd have to say is in the 60s.
38.6.
Yeah, that's about right. What was he? He was 17 for what?
17 for 27, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
I mean, it's 63%.
Yeah, so why is the QBR? I don't know how they figure QPR.
Because of the interceptions, more than likely. Plus, it's 63%. That's
all right,
not.
Well, then explain this to me. Jaron Williams, 19 for 30, 214 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. QBR 17.1%.
17.1?
Yeah. I will never figure out how they calculate that. If anybody has an answer, shoot me an email.
I'm looking
I would love
I'm
to
looking
know.
it up right now.
Yeah, but when you look it up, you're going to learn that you need to know trigonometry to figure out how they calculate that. I'm telling you.
Okay, so let's see here. QBR. Let's see.
Take it to Pirine.
It incorporates all of quarterback's contributions to winning, including how he impacts the game, passes, rushes, turnovers.
Okay, all right, that makes sense because he rushed 14 times for negative 44 yards.
Right. So since QBR is built from play level,
right,
it accounts for the team's level of success or failure on every play to provide proper context, then allocates credit to the quarterback and his teammates to produce a clearer measure of quarterback efficiency.
Gotcha.
So it's like a passer rating, but a little bit more. It's almost like the OPS in baseball now, right?
Right. Or is it more like WAR? No.
Yeah, kind of.
You're trying to establish the overall value of your play that game.
Correct.
Right. Or of your play so far throughout the year. So you can do it on the game.
So total QBR takes into account the level of difficulty the opponent's team defense is based on opponent's defensive FPI, among other factors.
And then you'd have to dig into what FPI is, which I have no freaking clue.
Right. So there's also a discount on trash time, like a 40-yard pass as time expires without scoring a touchdown or field goal is much different than a 40-yard pass with enough time to score points.
Right.
So I mean, there's so many things that go into it that it's another analytical thing.
Gotcha. Dude, what is going on in college football though? The Tennessee Volunteers starting quarterback charged with domestic assault. Georgia had a highly touted freshman, I think it was last night, got multiple charges for alcohol. The NCAA hit Mississippi State with a 3-year probation. I don't even know.
Yes, they did. People
happened with that?
So it's football and basketball. And from what I understand, and I got verification through this because one of my daughter's teammates, her dad's nephew is an offensive tackle at Mississippi State. So they
Okay.
had tutors taking tests and doing um, assignments for some of the players,
Okay.
and they got caught.
Oh, why? Why would you
So
do
yeah,
that?
I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's the kid's name, and you gotta check him out
It was one
because
kid.
no. I'm talking about my daughter's teammate's, I guess, cousin. It would be her
Okay,
cousin.
gotcha.
So I believe his name is Greg Island.
Okay.
He is a left tackle for
That's not Dave
the
Island's nephew, is it?
no.
Okay.
Um,
I played with a
he
guy named
is
Dave Island.
okay. No, they're African American,
Okay.
and he is in here. He's listed at 6'8", 335.
That's a big boy.
He is ginormous, and so my daughter's teammate, she's 6 foot as a freshman,
Good grief.
and she's a middle blocker
Okay.
and plays really well. Her dad played basketball in college. He's 6'7". And they took a picture together, Greg and her dad, and he looks like he's a normal person.
Oh, wow.
Like it's ridiculous how big this guy is.
That's crazy. Listen to this. 11 kids were declared ineligible.
Mm-hmm.
The schools fined $5,000 plus. This is such a slap on the wrist. Plus a 1% of each of the football, men's basketball budgets. A reduction of 2 football scholarships, which in football is really not that much. It's
No,
not
not really.
It's not like baseball. A reduction in 4 football visits, official visits. A reduction in 2 men's basketball official. Dude, this is a total slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
They cannot. Let's see. I'm not sure a vacation of records in which student athlete competed while ineligible. So if they did this while they were playing, they get a forfeit in the history. I don't know, and I don't see if they're ineligible for postseason play. I don't see that, but it seems like a slap on the wrist. I wonder how much
Yeah.
money it says they paid a part-time tutor, 11 kids. This kid was doing the homework of 11 people plus himself, probably.
Probably.
I wonder how much money he was getting. And where'd the players get the money? Because it's not like they're making a ton of money.
Well, they get they they can
Well,
they can make some
I'm
money.
talking about they're not supposed to be making a lot of money.
Correct.
You know.
But when you get your apartment paid for, you get your books, your tuition. A lot of times the the electricity's paid for, the utilities, all that stuff in your scholarship, and then on top of it, you get about a $2,000 to $3,000 stipend.
Yeah.
You have money.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish these kids realized how good they got it and quit screwing things up. But we made
Right.
mistakes too. I didn't make mistakes like that, but we made mistakes too. But
I just sent you a picture of Greg Island, and he's next to a cornerback. It's actually rather funny.
okay, so it's his nephew that. Oh no, this is the nephew.
Yeah, the big dude, 55.
That's a big old dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Look at this. Yeah, look at the size difference between them two.
Could you imagine being that corner and you come on a blitz and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm free. Oh, nope, here's this guy and he just pushes
Yeah,
you down
no.
with one hand.
I'd be like, no, it's all right. I'm good. I'll drop back in coverage. I'm good.
Yeah, like your little mosquito or something. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So before we go, we've had a topic conversation we've been talking about. Our kids in sports.
Yes.
Our kids are getting to the high school age. how do we handle their disappointment? How do we handle things that we think maybe aren't fair? How do you talk to your kids so that they have a good attitude about it? What's your take? Tell me what's going on over there and what's going on with you.
Well, um, at first it was a bit of a, I guess, a shock, so to speak. So carrying over from her eighth grade year to her freshman year this year,
Right.
their eighth grade season was extremely successful. If you go by sets, they were like 32-5. They
Okay.
lost like one match all year.
Okay.
Only lost about 5 sets, right? So out of the starting 6 from that eighth grade team, 5 of them tried out.
Okay.
Okay, and I mean, because they were on the team in itself of, I think there was about 12 girls. I think there was maybe 3 max that aren't playing volleyball this year. So I'm just talking about the starting 6.
Right.
Only 5 out of the starting 6 from her eighth grade team tried out for high school.
Okay.
She was one of them. They didn't run a libero in eighth grade, so they just ran 2 DSs, which, whatever, that was fine. Not even a big deal. She was the only one out of those 5 that did not make JV. Okay,
Wow.
so her problem, right? So the
Huh.
problem that we had with it, the problem that she had with it, was that the JV coach continued to tell all the girls that I'm going to take hard work, dedication, attitude,
Right.
communication over ability.
Right.
Okay. She exudes, and I mean, she bleeds and sweats all 4 of those qualities that she listed.
Right.
Okay. So when she did not make JV, she was just very confused. She's like, I don't understand.
Right.
She was hurt because she saw her teammates who don't necessarily exude these, all of these. I mean, some have good work ethic, some have really great attitudes, some are very team oriented, but she has every single one of them.
Right.
Plus she can play.
Right.
So she's just like, I don't understand. Like, the coach is using her for examples in drills and telling other kids, like, why aren't you communicating like Hannah? Why aren't you, those things? And so Hannah's sitting there going,
So as a dad, what do you do? What do you say to her when you get back in the car? She's disappointed. How are you handling it?
probably not as good as we should have.
Oh, really?
I mean, we feel for her.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an empath, so I feel other people's emotions.
Yeah.
So I was hurt with her,
Right.
because she would come home from tryouts, she'd come home from the summer workouts. I mean, she missed one day of strength and conditioning all summer.
Right.
She skipped her annual trip out to my parents' house in California, to,
Yeah.
put her best foot forward and be like, hey, I'm here and I'm going to give you everything I got.
Right.
And of course, we said that as parents, like, hey, this is a great opportunity. Get in there, show them your dedication, so on and so forth.
Right.
So then it didn't work out the way that we kind of were expecting it to. And then, and then on top of it, she's like fully confused and everything else. And as are we. And
Right.
so, we just were like, we're sorry. We don't know what to do. We were mad at the coaches. I mean, even us as parents, like, we were mad at the coaches. So we're just like, I don't understand. So I emailed the head varsity coach because I kind of had a little bit of a relationship with her before.
Okay.
As far as just, we've talked a few times as far as like, hey, do you want her to play club? Do you want her to play sand? This is where our thoughts are, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And we didn't have a chance to meet just from her schedule being crazy at the beginning of the year. We had other obligations, so on and
Right.
so forth. So we just told Hannah, we said, you need to go talk to them first.
Right.
So the freshman had to work a tournament early on in the year because we were hosting it, and she was, helping the varsity coach, and she said, "Hey, can I talk to you on Monday?" She's like, "Yeah, sure, come in and talk to me." Well, she blew her off
Oh, really?
on Monday.
Yeah.
So that like kind of was like, well, okay, then we're just obviously you're, to us, if you blow off a kid, that kid is not important.
Right. Yeah.
So we said, well, go talk to your freshman coach. And of course, she went and talked to her and stuff like that. And so the freshman coach said, yeah, you didn't make JV because you're inconsistent.
Huh.
But here's the funny thing, the JV is not playing well because of their DS and liberos.
And that's what your daughter plays?
And that's what she plays. So now it comes down to, okay, so now, and she even brought up to her coach, her freshman coach, which by the way, she wasn't even at tryouts. Right. So she's still now just starting to understand and learn what all the girls can do, right? So she asked her, and she goes, "Hey, look, coach, the JV coach said this, that, and the other, and this is, I pretty much do it. I'm all that, and I do it." And she's like,
Yeah.
She goes, "I know you do, and I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you."
Oh, that's funny. That's what they told me when they released me with the Yankees.
Right. So, and and that's kind of when I got released, it's the same thing. It's like, dude, I know what you have. So, and I even in the conversations that I've had with the varsity coach, I said, look, anything comes up, just shoot us straight, because we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't sugarcoat anything with her.
Right.
And that's actually the one thing that killed her in club, and that's why she's not playing club, is because they didn't shoot her straight.
Right.
They tell her one thing and turn around and do another. Like we as a family don't function in that environment.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what's the end result? Is she going to get to play volleyball at all? Is she going to be on the 9th grade team?
Oh yeah, no, she's on the 9th grade team.
Okay.
So, and she's libero on the 9th grade team, and she pretty much doesn't come off the court.
So do you guys have a 9th grade team, a JV team, and a varsity team?
We actually have 2 9th grade teams.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
y'all must be in a big school.
We have I think we're about 2,600 now, somewhere around there.
Oh crap! I think we only have about 900 in high school. We're 3A.
Okay, yeah, we're 6A.
I got you.
Yeah.
So she's gonna get to play.
She's been playing. So
is she gonna get to earn her way up? Like, can they move her?
Well, so here's the other kind of caveat, which we learned this weekend. So they had a tournament this weekend, and both of the 9th grade teams were playing in it.
Yeah.
So the JV coach helped out.
Okay.
And she ended up talking to my daughter and 3 others who are very capable of playing at that level. And she said, look, you guys are ability-wise, you guys can hang at JV.
Right.
And so they're like, okay. And they said, and so she basically just was like, but I have upperclassmen, or I have older kids that need to play.
Yeah, we're dealing with that right now. Cade.
So I'm we're sitting here going, okay, well, looking at it from a coach's perspective,
right,
in your program, and I kind of was thinking along these lines too. Maybe they're giving these girls a chance to see if they can even hang at JV, knowing what they have down on this freshman level.
Right.
And if these girls prove that they cannot improve over this whole year of being at this level, then these freshmen can very well leapfrog them and make varsity as sophomores.
Right. Yeah.
Or it could just be, well, we're going to move them up and see if they can, and keep moving them up. And then now they're stuck behind all of these girls.
Yeah.
Who they're better than.
Right.
So it's kind of we're kind of at a point of she's just going to play this year. She's happy where she's at. There's no drama on this team. Her team is 7-1 so far this year.
Oh, good.
And she's playing all the time, and she's happy. She's a leader. She's all the things that she's being, and her coach loves her. So, and on top of it, it gives her the ability, schedule-wise, like school schedule, class schedule,
right,
that she can be in theater class.
Oh, well, cool.
because she loves theater and she's extremely talented in that as well. Had she made JV,
Right.
she would not have been able to be in theater.
Well, maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work
Yeah,
out. I
that's
as a parent, I have the same empathy you do. Um, I'm I try not to show it in front of my son though. He's always been really tough. Like I don't know. He's been beating kids up since he was 4. I don't, protecting his friends. Never just
right.
for fun, but if somebody's picking on his friend, he beats them up. And so anyway, he's in the same situation. He's a younger kid. We only have a JV and varsity. We have a middle
Okay.
school team too, but JV's usually 9th and 10th grade, and varsity's usually 11th and 12th. Although we do have two ninth graders who are on varsity on the line because they both weigh
Oh
200.
boy,
They weigh 240 pounds at 14 years old.
that's
So
some small people.
yeah, they're big and they're 6 foot tall. Um, but anyway, Cage is frustrated because I'll put a picture of him. It just came up today. Cade has been playing football since he was 7,
Okay.
and he took to it like a fish to water. I don't think he's ever come off the field between offense and defense since he was 7 years old. So now we've gotten a JV, and now they're like, this is real football. And they're very hesitant to let him play defense, even though he's better at it than he is at quarterback. He's much better at defense because they've pigeonholed him into quarterback. He's had to beg them to let him play defense, and when he goes out there, he kills it. And but there's an older kid on the team who has only played 1/2 season of football in his life, and he is a tremendous athlete. He's got a great arm. He's a big kid. He's probably 6'2", and he's 14 years old or 15 years old. And he's got a great arm, but the football IQ is not there just because he hadn't played.
Right.
And I'm not ragging on the kid at all. He's a tremendous, unbelievable baseball player. But the prospect of Cade thinking, well, if they're not going to let me play defense and they're going to force me to play backup quarterback, what am I going to do? He can't wrap his brain around it.
Right.
And it's like you said, I'm thinking maybe they're just giving him a shot because he's older. And if it doesn't work out, they'll throw Cade out there because he gets equal playing time in scrimmages, but he never starts. They'll give each of them a series. They'll swap every series or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. I honestly wish I wish they would just let him play defensive end because he's a straight up stone cold killer. He just wants to kill people on the football field.
Right.
And even when he's playing quarterback, if he gets a run play,
He's putting his head down.
well, he's not looking to run around anybody. He's looking for the first guy he can run into. It's crazy, dude. But anyway, and so he gets in the car the other day and he was upset. He's like, I just want to play somewhere else. I don't want to play this school. And it's funny because the athletic director comes to me and says, man, we love him. The coaches love him. Everybody loves him. So they brag on him all the time. And he overheard it one day. And he's like, what was that about? And I was like, you know what it's about. And he goes, well, if they love me so much, why am I not starting at quarterback? And I'm like,
Exactly.
like, I don't know. So he's confused. And I just look at him and go, look, dude, here's the stone cold truth about sports. And in my brain, I want to hug him and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. But I just told him, I said, listen, if you want to start, you have to play so good in practice and in scrimmages. You have to be so much better than the other guy. I don't mean marginally better. You got to be so much better that the people in the stands are screaming your name to have you put on the field, that they cannot deny you playing time. That's the only answer in sports. That's it. There's no, I'm sorry, maybe next year. No, if well, they like him better because their dad donated more. No, the real answer to all of it is, if you were so phenomenal, if you really were so phenomenal, you wouldn't be in this situation. You wouldn't.
Correct.
There is no excuse. If you were Jake Fromm, or if you were Peyton Manning, or if you were what they were in high school, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So my question I always ask him is, are you working as hard as those guys did when nobody's watching? Did you do your workout in the garage? Did you go? He's like, well, I don't have anybody to throw a football to. I said, then go throw against a tree. I threw against a brick wall when I was a kid.
Yes.
There are no excuses. If you're not starting, and this goes for every parent out there, if your kid's not starting, you know why the real answer is? Because he's not so phenomenally good that he can overcome the bias that your coach has. Because if he is Bo Jackson, he will not ride the bench. I promise you. I don't care if all 11 players on the field are Bo Jackson's parents. If you're better than Bo Jackson, you'll be on the field. Guaranteed.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to instill that in. I feel like I made too many excuses when I was playing pro ball. Well, this coach didn't like that scout, and that scout didn't like my pitching coach, and that's why they didn't let me play, and I was friends with so-and-so, and that's why I wish I'd have just put my head down and just done the work. Just do the work. You'll get, the cream always rises to the top. You'll get your work in. But as parents, how bad do you want to cry on the inside when you hear your kid's upset? You know what I mean?
100%.
You can't help. You want to just reach out and hug them and be like, it'll be all right. Maybe you can play the piano.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
Maybe you can be
Yeah.
my son wants to be a chef if he's not a football player. That's
There
his
you go.
goal. So,
Yeah. And with Hannah, I mean, she's got sand volleyball, and then she's got theater, and so I mean that's kind of what we're talking to her
and
about.
she's not going to be sitting on the sidelines, so she's going to be able to get her work in and get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of like, well, we're kind of leaving it up to her. Obviously, we don't want to force her into anything, but
Right.
and her the way her thoughts are, and it's funny because she has theater friends telling her the same thing that we are.
Yeah.
Like, you're very good at sand volleyball too,
Yeah.
and you have no drama in sand, and you're extremely talented in theater. So why are you wasting your time playing for the high school?
Yeah. I hear you.
So it's kind of, I mean, so she's kind of toying like, okay, I want to see, because she's taking a lot of pride in playing for her high school.
Yeah.
And I value that as well.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, Cade feels the same way.
Yeah, so she's like, well, let's just see, what happens over the spring and next year in tryouts and, so on and so forth. So we'll see what happens.
It's going to work out.
But what's funny is a bunch of her teammates were completely shocked that she didn't make JV.
Yeah.
And there were like some alumni that were helping out with some of the clinics over the summer, and they saw her at the alumni game, and they're like, what team did you make? And she's like, I made freshman. They're like, you got to be kidding me.
That's all
so
right.
Obviously everybody sees it, but but then there's the politics of like, well, we cut too many sophomores, or we got to give these girls a chance, that.
And I'm hearing the same thing in the stands at scrimmages. I hear parents that don't even know me going, why is that other kid not out there? And I'm like, I'm asking the same questions, but is what it is. The coaches we got won 3 state championships at another school. They just came here. I gotta think they know what they're doing. And my son loves them. He thinks they're the best, some of the best coaches they ever played for. He's not the best coach they ever played for. The best one was in Florida, but a friend of mine named Chad Hudson, but he's happy with the coaches. He's just confused. Why do you brag on me so much, yet I'm not the number one guy? Why do you tell me I'm doing so well, but I'm not the number one guy? Why are you fussing at the other guy so much, and I'm not the number one guy? It's confusing. And at 14, your hormones are going crazy. You got, all these other things. You got school pressures and all that stuff. So this just adds to it. And I don't know. I'm kind of tough on him. I'm like, just be better. Don't come to me with excuses. Just be better. Because if you're the best one by far, you will not spend much time on the sideline, I can promise you. Ever.
Right.
So, anyway, with that, we've gone over an hour. I don't even know where the time went.
It's a good conversation.
That's right. No, hey, listen, you got anything you wanted to talk about before we go?
I do not think so.
All right. Well, this Saturday, this coming Saturday,
Well, aren't there some Thursday games though?
there are actually some big Thursday games, I think.
Well, Oregon and Auburn are at AT&T on Saturday nights.
Yeah,
Clemson
but
plays
none of us
Georgia Tech.
SEC fans even know about those games. We don't. We
Yeah,
don't even pay
right.
attention.
Clemson, Georgia Tech at 7 o'clock on
Oh,
Thursday.
that's. It will not be a good game, but there'll be one good team there. It's gonna.
Another, yeah,
I think Clemson's favored by 41. I think in that game.
36. I'm seeing on
36
CBS.
now.
Yeah. Let's see who else. A&M fires off against Texas State Thursday. UCLA's at Cincinnati.
Okay.
Number 17 UCF is hosting Florida A&M. That should be over by the first quarter. They're favored by 45.5.
Then you go to Friday. The only two games worth watching really are Colorado State, Colorado, Oklahoma State, Oregon State, like you mentioned. But then Saturday, dude, it's almost like Christmas for me. I'm telling you. I think Georgia plays Vanderbilt on Saturday. So I
Yes.
will be glued to the television on Saturday. What time does that game start?
Well, I'm gonna be watching that.
7:30.
I'm gonna be watching Penn State, man. I got a guy I played with. His nephew is one of the quarterbacks for Penn State, so
Oh, that's
that'll
cool.
be interesting.
What time's that game?
2:30. They're
right.
playing. They're playing Idaho. So let's see. Texas is playing La Tech. Yeah, I mean, as far as significant games go, there's really not many. As far as like
No.
two big boys going at it.
At least Georgia's not going after like Eastern Tennessee Technical Institute of Plumbing. They're going against
Correct.
Vanderbilt, so it's a SEC game.
Yeah, it's a decent game.
Clemson's going at Georgia Tech, so it's an in-conference game.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
we
mean,
need-
the
we
biggest
gotta-
draw is going to be the Oregon Auburn.
all right, we got to start doing this. Oh, that's right. We got to start doing this. What's your pick for Thursday night? What's your game of the week, and what's the score?
Let's see. Should we go with? I guess we'll go with the big. I mean, I don't know. Do we go with the Clemson Georgia Tech game?
I
Since
would.
that's the
So
highlight?
what are you picking? Because we'll check next week. What's the score?
I'm going to say it's going to be 62-17.
62-17. All right. I'll say 39-13 on that.
Okay.
So we'll check next week. All right, let's go to Friday. What's your game that week?
Well,
That
personally,
day.
personally, it'll be Nevada versus Purdue.
Okay, what's your score? What do
But
you got?
now, I think probably the most intriguing game. Man, I don't know. That might actually be.
Pick it. Go for your game.
Okay,
Nevada,
we'll pick
Purdue.
it then.
Give me the score.
Well, I'll tell you, Nevada Purdue's favored by 10,
Okay.
and Purdue is playing in Reno.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say Purdue 42, Nevada 38.
So you think it's going to be a high-scoring game?
Yeah.
I was thinking closer to 27-20.
No, Nevada's not known for defense, and they're usually run pretty high octane offense.
All right. Well, I'm going 27-20. You're going 42-38.
Yeah, you writing this down?
No, we got it on audio, man. What are you talking about?
Oh, there you go.
All right, Saturday. I'm gonna pick one game
We'll pick
Saturday. You pick one game Saturday.
Okay.
I'm taking the Georgia Vandy game.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna say Georgia starts off rough every year. They should mow through them. I didn't even look at the line. But I'm gonna say Georgia 42, Vandy 21.
Okay.
What's the line on that? Do you even see it?
21.
All right, so I picked the line, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
All right, I didn't even look at the line, but that's what I think the score on that'll be. What's your game
Okay.
for Saturday?
We'll go with the Oregon Auburn.
Oregon Auburn. All right, what you got? What do you think?
The spread is 3.5.
in favor of Auburn.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go.
And it's at Auburn, right?
No, it's at AT&T. It's
Oh,
it's
neutral
at
site.
Yeah, it's at Jerry's World.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Oregon in a slight upset, even though they're favored. They're actually ranked 11th. Auburn's ranked 16th.
It still would be an upset if they beat them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Oregon with an upset. I'm gonna say 49 to 42.
Won't be that high a score, I don't think.
It might not be.
I don't think it'll be that. Auburn or Oregon's got a great offense. Auburn has a good defense, and their offense not that great. So I'm gonna say, and Auburn travels well, especially to Texas. That's not that far for them.
No.
It's a long way from Oregon. I'm gonna say Auburn. 28, Oregon 21.
Okay.
I say they're going to win by Auburn's going to win by a touchdown. So that's
All
our
right.
picks this week. Listen, next week we'll check our picks. You know what we should do? Wednesdays we should do college football picks during the season,
Yeah.
and it's only got to be a 10-minute show, really.
And then keep track of record.
Yes.
Watch
Yeah.
us like not win a single one, whatever.
Well, yeah, true.
we could not. I mean, we could just.
Well,
pick the win.
we can do a pick 'em and then the score be a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So let's plan on this week, even if we just do it on the phone. Wednesday at some point we'll do it so that we can have our pick. We'll pick 5 games, and we'll pick 5 games to do, or we can do more. Do as many as you want to. I don't care. But let's do pick'ems on Wednesday, in case there's a good game on Thursday, and the podcast will be out Thursday morning. I think that'd be a good thing to do. And then Sunday nights we could pick some baseball matchups. What do you think?
And do what now?
Sunday nights we could pick some baseball matchups.
Yes.
So, all right, I got to run, guys.
Sounds good.
Guys, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iTunes, and you can find us on prosportstalk.live. So check out the podcast, share it with your friends. It should be up tomorrow. So, Scott, great talking to you, buddy.
You too.
We'll talk at you Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
All right, see ya.
Bye.